Ipswich Town are now the only side yet to win in the Premier League this season. They can change that at Spurs, of course, on Sunday. But Wolves' win lifts them off the bottom, up to 6 points. Southampton now propping the table up, and Palace just a point above the drop zone. And there's the screenshot for the Liverpool fans heading into the international break. Played 11, won 9, only one defeat, 5 points clear of Manchester City, and Arsenal, of course, if they were to lose to Chelsea tomorrow, would suddenly be 10 off Liverpool, 11 games in. Villa stay in 8th position. Reaction then from the man who can't do any wrong in Liverpool fans' eyes at the moment. Here he is, Arne Slot.
Arne, going into this international break, 5 points clear of Man City now, 10 to Arsenal. Performance-wise, is there anything that could be better after these first 17 matches?
Of course, not a lot. You can always talk about the 2 times we didn't win, but away at the Emirates, having a draw is, I think, a good result, especially if you saw that game. First half was really difficult for us. Yeah, it's nice to pick up all these points, and we don't look that much what the others do, because we also know, and City showed this in the past many times, they can be 2 points, 3 points, 5 points. I think last season they were even 8 points behind, and they will always find a way of winning than a lot of games. That's probably what they're going to do this season again as well. And Arsenal have had a very tough fixture list also. So let's not get carried away, but it's good that we've picked up these points.
Defeat for Manchester City and their victory at Anfield, 15 in 17 in all competitions under Arne Slot. He was quite honest there when he said before a ball was kicked, we weren't considered to be title favourites, but we're candidates now. I mean, it is only 11 in, but 5 clear at this stage?
Well, they were always candidates, of course. I think most people fancy Manchester City to start the season.
Were they most people's third favourites, fair to say?
I would say third favourites, yeah. Then a lot of people thought Arsenal. And then I think
Who did you two tip, by the way?
I thought Arsenal might have a strong season this season.
Yeah, I was with Martin. Arsenal would win it, yeah.
Me and him were the two pundits that went Arsenal. Everyone else went Manchester
Long
City.
season, long way
Nobody
to
said
go.
Liverpool. Nobody that I know of, anyway. But they haven't won it yet. As you know, Steve, it's still early on. Manchester City, Arsenal can both go on brilliant runs, as can other teams as well. But what a lovely position to be in. I mean, that many points ahead already. And more importantly, other teams wobbling. You know, you'd never like to see players injured, but of course, you know, Manchester City with Rodri out for the majority of the season, a few problems off the pitch. They've got a smallish squad, and if you get a few injuries to the squad, then it can be a problem. That's what's happening at the moment. And by the time they shake themselves down and get back on the straight and narrow, it might be gone if they continue in this form. You know, Liverpool might be 10 points ahead by Christmas. So you never know, but I mean, at this stage of the season, Liverpool are pinching themselves, thinking, you know, their 2 main challengers are both faltering at the moment.
And let's point out, we are concerned, obviously, with the Premier League, but Liverpool at the moment, as we sit here, are top of the Premier League and the Champions League. I mean, talk about combining the 2 fronts with a new manager following Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much faultless. But I never really worried about Liverpool and Arne Slot coming in, because a lot was made of the way Jurgen Klopp played football. But Arne Slot was coming into a very good team. I mean, you're talking about Alisson, one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Van Dijk, one of the best centre-backs. Trent's probably the most technically gifted fullback we've ever seen in Premier League history. You've got Salah, one of the greats. So I almost felt like him coming into this Liverpool side wasn't going to be a massive change. All he's had to do is tweak 1 or 2 small things, but the team almost picks itself. So the fact that Liverpool are kind of pushing and look like they are probably one of the favourites for the Premier League, it doesn't really surprise me. Yes, I thought Manchester City would be better, and I didn't think they'd lose Rodri, which is unfortunate. I thought Arsenal would look better, but the Odegaard situation and 1 or 2 decision-makings, maybe the pressure's getting to Arsenal a little bit. But I always felt Liverpool would be in the mix. Now, yes, they've been pretty much faultless. I still don't think we've seen them play to their absolute maximum yet. But again, if you're a Liverpool fan, that's got to be a positive, right? You're 5 points clear, and you're still probably at, I'd say, 90%. I still think there's a little bit extra. I think the Brighton game, I think last weekend they gave them problems. I think Villa, a couple of set plays, Kelleher pulled them out a little bit. So as good as Liverpool have been, and they have been fantastic, I still think there's a little bit more room for improvement. And
there's certainly room for improvement with Darwin Núñez, because he's a bit of an enigma, isn't he? He arguably could have had a hat-trick today, 2 great chances, but he did get that all-important first goal with a very good finish that you were impressed with from the Villa corner.
Yeah, Steve, this was a theme of the match. Villa, every time they had a corner, it seemed like Liverpool would go on a counter and either score or had a very good chance. I mean, I know Villa have got a set-piece coach, but they need to mop up on set pieces 4. This was a very good goal. This is a very good finish. Said before, when he doesn't have time to think, when it all comes natural, then Núñez can finish. Referee plays a good advantage. Got to mention that. I think there's a sending off and a free kick for Liverpool. However, of course, they'd like the play to continue and to score the goal. And it was a lovely finish. I like the way he lifts it here because Martinez, he knows that Núñez wants to go around the goalkeeper here, so he stays on his feet and actually does well. He gets across fine, but just lifting that ball into the roof of the net was the finish that was just called for at that time, and obviously puts Liverpool ahead at the top end.
A lot of people saying about Arsenal, they're playing Havertz, Jesus, they still need a striker. If anything happens to Haaland, now Alvarez has gone at City, what happens there? Where Liverpool, when they've all fit, Jota's not available at the moment, they've got 5 for 3 positions.
Yeah, I mean, you could say, it wasn't a problem for Arsenal last year, but then a little bit of luck with injuries because they weren't that many. So they all got their goals. I think Arsenal were second highest goal scorers in the league last year, so it wasn't much of an issue. But when you get scenarios like this, where they are struggling to find the net, and then you look at the options, as you said, that Liverpool have got, because I agree with you, if City were to lose Haaland, that's equally as impactful, if not more, than Rodri, because for me, he's their main source of goals. If he doesn't score, who's going to step up and score goals consistently? But for Liverpool at the minute, as you said there, if Salah doesn't score, I mean, he seems to be the mainstay because he's so durable. If he doesn't score, I know Jota's out, but he's shown that he's more than capable. Gakpo can come on and get a goal. Darwin Nunez will get his goals. Luis Diaz. They've got so many different options, and again, that has to play into Liverpool's favour because no centre forward goes the whole entire season where you're scoring goals every single week. At some point, you have a bit of a dry spell. For Liverpool, if one of them has a dry spell, Salah has a dry spell, they've got another 4 options, so you have to say that obviously plays into their hands.
Salah's certainly not having a dry spell at the start. He's into double figures now. His goal sealed it.
Yeah, like he just doesn't go through dry spells, does he? He's just a goal machine. Incredible. He's going past everybody at the moment. Up another place in the standings not so long ago, the Premier League all-time standings. This is, you know, you never doubt when Mo Salah's got time like this. You don't doubt him anymore, do you? You know, conversely, when we see Darwin Núñez going through one-on-one, you sort of think, oh, he's not going to score. Whereas, I mean, you spotted this, Benty. Just explain this defending, please. Yeah,
I mean, for Konza, it's got to go and affect the ball. Mo Salah's the most dangerous that I think they're going to affect the ball.
This is incredible.
But he chooses to opt and go away, and he almost makes up Salah's mind for him. And in that position there, being Salah, being the goal scorer that he is, he's probably delighted that Konza's done that, because if Konza goes and affects the ball, he has to play it, square it. I mean, of course, it's a tap-in for Luis Diaz, but the fact that he completely runs towards Salah and then goes completely away almost makes Salah's mind up, and as Michael said there, such a composed finish.
He also said he'd nudged his way up. Recently went above Robbie Fowler in the all-time scorers. He's 165 there, 10 off Thierry Henry, 12 off Frank Lampard, who's with us tomorrow, almost 20 off Aguero. If he was to sign and stay at Liverpool, I mean, where realistically, because we know what Mo Salah's like with records and numbers, he knows them all. Yeah. Where could he nudge his way to, do you think?
I don't think he could. I don't think he can catch Shearer, but he can be second.
Really?
Yeah, if he stays.
Yeah.
If he signs another 3-year contract, he could score, probably will score 60 or 70 more goals. He's in second, and comfortably in second. I don't think he can catch Alan Shearer, but 3 more years and he's in second, Steve. I mean, he's not slowing down at all. He's the fittest. He's the strongest.
Well, only Slot was saying he can play long into his career, couldn't he?
I think he can. The way he looks after himself.
Alan Shearer might be hoping he can't, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I'd say he can't catch it. I say he can't catch him. I mean, if he plays for another 5 years at Liverpool, then he probably could. But realistically, I think he could get second, and he loves records, and he's a fitness fanatic. He is the most dedicated footballer. He never misses games. He never gets injured. He's an absolute beast. He lives in the gym. He lives for scoring goals and breaking records. So if he stays at Liverpool, yeah, I think he can get second.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting second from Michael, but I definitely thought when I looked at the graphic, him being on 165, 200, he'll get to in that 200 club, I think, for sure. I mean, second, I'm not sure, and depends how long, as you said, if he plays for another 5 years, but in my head I was thinking he'll get into that 200 club. I think he could pass Rooney. I think 208 Rooney's on, so I think he could pass him, but I can't see him getting to Alan Shearer's record, that 260. I still look at that now and it blows my mind how anyone could get that many goals, 260.
Well, Kane would have beaten him though, wouldn't he, if he had stayed?
Yeah, you'd think so, because Kane's been scoring, near enough 30 goals for the last
He could come
10
back,
years.
Harry, yeah. You never know.
Still, but yeah.
He could come back.
Absolutely. He should come back.
All right, Mo Salah, another goal for him, another win for Liverpool. You wouldn't expect him to get carried away.
No. Everything I see about it, I just like what I hear. I like what I see. I like his reactions. I like, you know, from the chaos of Klopp and the fist pumping and the Klopp. It's actually quite nice that a different character has come in. I think otherwise people would be comparing him too much. Whereas I think he's totally the opposite. He's calm, he's calculated, he just looks in control. And it's easy to be like that after you've won a few games. But even in his first game, before he'd even taken charge of a game, I just loved his demeanour on the side of the pitch. And yeah, the fans are starting to love him and starting.
I mean, the three of us obviously at Ipswich on the opening day when he got his first win. I mean, we couldn't have predicted what would happen in all competitions since then.
No, 100% not. But they played well that day. Well, second half they came out and showed what they were all about. But again, his reactions there. I mean, he spoke about the rivals as well. I just like his whole demeanour and his character, and he's doing a fantastic job.
He certainly is. Gentlemen, thank you for your company, Michael and Darren. So what a situation for Liverpool to be in as we head into the international break. 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League from the three of us. We'll see you soon.